I'm Richard Stillwell. Most of you probably, if you're from Pacific Grove, you know me. I don't know you. I've seen you, but that's it. I was raised here. I met my wife here in school. We got married. I raised my kids here. I've been in the fire department since 1950. I'm still in the department. We just can't fight fires. We have a volunteer group. But what I'm telling you is I'm not going to disappear. And I belong to WaterPLus. I have been on that at the meetings for about a year now. I would not tell you this if I didn't believe it. I think we got the right thing going here. But I can't say for sure that it's absolute. There's nothing. I might not make it home tonight. The airplane might hit us. I don't know. But this is a good program, and I want you people to listen to it, please. Ask questions. Dick Rotter is around here somewhere. If you wave that thing, he'll come and get it from you. So please pay attention and listen to it. We got two good councilmen here. They've done their job. They know what they're doing. So thank you. Thank you for coming. And where's Ron? Ron, our president, Ron Weitzman, come on up. Just don't talk too long.
Thank you all for coming, and I'll just start it off briefly. WaterPLus has been meeting over 80 times. We started in September 2010. We've been meeting weekly. Our meetings often last 3 hours, mostly last 3 hours. Today was an exception, it was a little less than 2. We meet Monday mornings. And so we've been deeply involved in water. I retired a number of years ago, but I retired to water, and I'm working harder than I ever worked when I was working. So I have a number of slides here. I want to show you, go to the first one here. Called it our local water story, desal or die. That's a little bit out there, desal or die, but that's what we hear. We say if we don't do it, we're going to have rationing in beginning of 2017. We're going to have 35 gallons a day limitation. It's, that's the die part. And so we have to do something. Everybody agrees that one of the components of our water supply project, if not the only component, is desalination. That's our option now, and you're going to hear it over and over, not just from WaterPLus or from other people, from CalAm. We'll hear it from everybody, the mayors, everybody. Everybody agrees on that. So that's desal or die. Just the dies that represents the urgency that we're going to be confronted with when people say you take our project or we're going to have a real problem at the beginning of 2017, and as time goes on, it gets more and more urgent, and the last project standing, however good or bad it may be, it's going to be the one that's going to be pushed on us because it's going to be the only one. So I made it like a story, and I used Roman numerals to identify each of these chapters, and I'm not going to tell you the whole chapter. I'm just going to repeat the titles, and for the first 6 of them, there are 10 of them. For the first 6, I want you to think, when you see the title, I want you to think why. Just why, and we'll try to answer it. By the time you finish here today, you ought to be able to answer those. And if you can't, we have a question and answer period, and you could ask questions to clarify any problems that you have with our presentation. So the first one's division. It started out this way. The Division of Ratepayer Advocates of the Public Utilities Commission recruited Marina Coast Water District as a public partner to CalAm. Think about that. Why? Why did they recruit Marina Coast? Just think about it. Second one, county-owned wells into the Salinas Aquifer justify inexpensive desal for Marina Coast. Think about that. Why? Why are there wells in the first place? Why are they in Marina? Why aren't they on the peninsula? Why Marina Coast? Think about that. Third, the county faces legal problems and seeks to withdraw from the project. Well, we know, we may ask why, but we know that there were legal problems. You can ask why the county withdrew because of the legal problems. There are a number of whys they could have for that chapter. Chapter 4, CalAm withdraws from the project and Marina Coast objects. Marina Coast is still objecting. And they could ask why. Why did Cal-Am withdraw from the project? Why does Marina Coast object? The project's so terrible, why does Cal-Am want it and Marina Coast want it too, so they're fighting. Chapter 5, Cal-Am proposes new project without Marina Coast or any other public partner. Why? Why doesn't Cal-Am want a public partner? Chapter 6, county elects not to defend its ordinance requiring public ownership of the desal plant. Why does the county has an ordinance? Why doesn't it defend it? I wrote the Board of Supervisors a letter saying either defend it or repeal it, because it's not fair to the private citizens or private entrepreneurs within the county that they can't build a desal plant, whereas Cal-Am can. That is not even American with equality under the law. At least that's what we think we have. Okay, Chapter 7, Pacific Grove steps in to take the place of Marina Coast as a public desal owner. That's what we're going to talk about a lot tonight, so I'm not going to answer that question. Chapter 8, Pacific Grove invites other cities to join it in providing the peninsula's water supply. Pacific Grove is first. It's exercising leadership in public service. If it's a leader, others will follow. Once Pacific Grove gets this started, we could go before all the other city councils and say, join us or disenfranchise your citizens. Pacific Grove will make all the decisions, and your citizens will have no say unless you join it. So I believe that if Pacific Grove goes forward with this, they'll have followers and they'll be a leader. Chapter 9, what we can expect if Pacific Grove goes forward with the project. We're going to hear that this evening. And some people have fears. Some people look at good things ahead. We'll get the reality of the situation as far as this expert panel could describe it to us. What we can expect if it doesn't go forward. And that you know, I said desal or die, it could be desal and die if Cal-Am does it, because water will be so expensive that although you will have it, you won't be able, a lot of people won't be able to afford it. It's happened in Sacramento and a lot of other places where people have had to take new mortgages out in their house because they can't afford their public utilities. So it's a serious problem, and we're going to talk about that this evening. And the next two slides I'm going to go over very quickly because I don't want to take time. We have a panel here, and they each have something very important to say. This was provided by Ed Mitchell. Most people have heard of Ed Mitchell. He's run for the Board of Supervisors from North County, and I hope he's going to run again. The three columns represent three major competing desal projects. As you can see, the People's Project has the most yeses. That is, all these things in the left-hand column are requirements for the project to go forward. There's only one yes in one of the other in the deep water column for its leased land. It has leased a site. Cal-Am has no site yet. In fact, it may have to condemn property to get a site, the CMEX property in north of the Marina Coast Water District. So these other two projects have a lot of steps to go through, and they haven't gone through. They've gone through at most one of them. And this project that we're going to be talking about this evening has gone through most of the steps already. Not all of them, but most of them. And at the bottom of this table, you'll see the estimated costs for the projects for water per acre foot, the unit cost of water. And you can see that the cost is much lower for the People's Project than for the other two. Now, is the People's extraordinarily low, or are the others extraordinarily high? Well, the average cost of water, desalinated water in the United States for a desal plant that produces 10,000 acre feet is less than $1,800 an acre foot. So this is not out of line. The others are way out of line. You can ask why. And then this next one shows the relative costs, total costs. And notice that's in billions of dollars. That includes the cost of buying the money, the cost of capital. The most expensive one, and all these data come from the forum that Monterey put on October 26th last year. So all these data come from that forum. I didn't make them up. This includes the cost of buying the money. And we would be paying in 30 years over $1 billion if Cal-Am does the project. It'd be a little bit less expensive, and it could be much more expensive, but projected costs from Cal-Am's estimates are the next most expensive would be the project that was just discontinued by the Public Utilities Commission, the Regional Desalination Project. The next one is Deepwater, which is less expensive, and the least expensive is the project we're going to be talking about this evening, the Peoples Project. So that's all I have to say now. I want to introduce our moderator, Dr. Harvey Billick, who's our WaterPLus Vice President. He'll introduce the panel.